Hello, and welcome to your next episode of the Koppen Report. This one is covering out-the-box managerial possibilities, and we were keen to get this one out today, just obviously in the wake of that 2-0 draw with Motherwell. There seems to be a pretty united feeling around the sport that Clement's time is up, and it's a case of when, not if. So we thought we would take a look at potential targets that could take over. So, first choice for the scouting team at the Journal is Kevin Muscat, and I think that applies to an awful lot of the fans. He plays quick attacking football, there's aggressive pressing, he's got a track record of improving and getting the most out of players, and he holds players generally to a higher standard. He doesn't tolerate anyone going below that. These are kind of things that we've all talked about in relation to Rangers in the last few years, so potentially Muscat's the man to fix that. He also takes us into the Asian markets. He's got good knowledge of players over there, playing in multiple leagues. He has a winner's mentality, and possibly most appealing to the board would be the fact that, as far as we know at the time of recording, he is out of contract the 31st of December, so just 2 days away. That said, there's a lot of other managers out there that would actually potentially really suit Rangers, and here is the pick from our scouting team. So number one name on the list is Marek Papsen. He is 50 years old, currently manages Rakow, and he's under contract until June the 30th, 2026, so there would be some sort of fee involved if we were to move for him. His preferred formation is either a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2. He's managed 339 games, and his average points per game is 1.91. Papsen has quite a heavy focus on the defensive side, and he believes that kind of applies throughout the team, so it's a high-intensity pressing game that he's known for. Not so much possession-style football. He does like to get the ball forward as quickly as possible, overload the wide areas, and get the wingers into the box while the wing-backs provide the width. His aim really is to get as many players into the box as possible. It's perhaps what you'd class as a bit of blood and thunder football. If it's not working with the 3-4-3 and the wingers, then quite often he'll switch it to a 3-5-2 and play another striker to try and create goal-scoring chances. So there's maybe a bit more flexibility in there than what we've been used to recently. He is very happy to play youth players. So far he's adopted if they're good enough, they're old enough attitude, which again will appeal to a lot of the fans out there. Interestingly, he actually took over Rakow in the 3rd division, and he's worked them all the way up and actually won the Polish League in 22-23 as well, and he's taken 4 domestic cups on the way, so he is very much the kind of man that could drive a rebuild. He's got previous for it, and successful previous. He's also got quite a good record in Europe. 8 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses. So I guess the one bright spot for Rangers fans is sometimes their experiences in Europe, and you know what? Papsen is more than capable of delivering that as well. He's used to working on a small budget, and you could argue that he's actually overachieved winning the Polish League, which, whilst we might not like it again in our current situation, probably is directly applicable to Rangers. Next up on the list is Kim Hellberg. So this one is the youngest on the list, and the scout guys have acknowledged that in some respects it would be a bit of a gamble when it comes to Hellberg. But Kim Hellberg, he currently manages Hammarby. He's under contract until the 1st of January 27, so again there's potentially that fee if we were to move for him. Preferred formation is either 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. Also a 4-1-4-1, so there's a bit of flexibility in there, and that translates into his style actually. He does make quite a lot of in-game adjustments depending on how the game's going. He likes to dominate the centre of the park. It allows him to then adjust and attack in the wide areas, keeping opposition defences off balance in essence. His attacking style of play does change up week to week depending on each opponent and how they will set up. So for me, that instantly means, one criticism perhaps of Clement is that he's quite stubborn in his approach. He will play a European game against a decent team the same way he would approach a bottom of the league team. And this guy's different. He will adjust when it's a low block. There'll be a way he plays, but then when he goes off into European games or playing against Celtic, then he can flexibly change the team, and he needs quite technical players for that. Defensively, he believes that you should never wait for the opponent to give you the ball, but you go and take it. So again, it's that quite intense approach. Their aim, ultimately, is just to win the ball back as quickly as possible and counter-attack straight away. He is young and up-and-coming, and rumour has it there is some interest in him. I think with Kim Hellberg, he's probably one that either we're going to get now or we're just not going to get. So probably one to watch, but definitely an outside contender at the minute. Next up is Wilfried Nancy. Now, this guy, he currently manages in the MLS. His preferred formation is 3-4-2-1. He has managed exclusively in the MLS, and obviously for some fans that might be a bit of a uh-oh. Recent kind of scar tissue from American players hasn't worked out. They haven't adapted to the SPFL, and I suspect there might be some worry that a coach that's kind of coached solely there might fit that same bracket. The thing with Wilfried Nancy is he is expected to make the jump to Europe. Again, a lot of positive attention. He's taken a team that collectively, don't have amazing individuals in Columbus Crew, but as a team, when they're on their day, then they're acknowledged as one of the best teams. And again, that ability to kind of create something greater than the sum of its parts might be quite useful until he has a chance to bring his own people in. Again, for me, potentially a bit of an outsider, but definitely one worth keeping an eye on. Next on the list is Kurban Kurbanov. He's Azerbaijanian. He has managed Karabakh for a long time now. He is currently under contract, so again, fee to approach. That one runs till June 30th, 2025. Preferred formation is either a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, so a bit of adaptability. A lot of fans have been calling for that flat three in the middle, so they'd maybe in favour of that. He's got an attacking possession-based style of play, and it's built around short, fast passing moves with positional fluidity. He will develop players. He's taken some pretty average players and bought them in on a low fee and improved them quite dramatically. Good example of that is his current striker, Juninho, who he's bought in for a fee of about 450k, I believe. And he's scoring for fun at the minute, so he is someone that can pick out a player that fits his system, would work quite well with Nils Koppen and the same of the player trading model. Last on the list is Niko Kovac. Now, he's Croatian. He is without club at the minute, so again, that instantly might appeal to the board. Less involved to bring him in. Plays a few different formations, noted for playing 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 or 5-3-2. He's quite flexible, formations change game to game and during games again, so a bit like Hellberg that we talked about previously, he has got that fluidity and that ability to change within game. He's quite noted for wanting to play a formation or a style that fits the players that he has, as opposed to, has a formation and the players will fit it. And again, that's something we've seen quite a lot of recently. We've kind of been wedded to the 4-2-3-1 for a long time. Again, it might be quite good to see a coach that is willing to change it up as and when. He does attack in different ways as well, so willing to play on the counter, also to have teams playing possession-based attack, and quick transitions, which is what we've been more used to recently. His main focus when it comes to attacking is about the movement and always looking for overloads to outnumber opponents. So that's the list that we've got for you tonight. I hope some of those interest you. We will post a link to the previous video, as I said. If you like what you've heard tonight, please do like and subscribe. And we will also post the info packs on each manager on our social media channels. In the meantime, thanks for listening. Goodbye.